Can I get a raise of hands if you've ever felt understood without a single word being spoken? Can I please get a raise of hands? Thank you. So hi, I'm Shreya Vijayanand. I'm a trained Bharatanatyam dancer for the past 15 years with a diploma in Bharatanatyam. I started dance when I was just 4 years old and my feet barely reaching the ground. My feet was barely reaching the ground and the salangai or the ghungroos were heavier than my feet. And yet, between the rhythm and the silence, I fell in love with Bharatanatyam. Long before I could explain it, my body knew something my mind would take years to understand. Bharatanatyam is not just a dance form. It's one of the oldest surviving classical dance traditions in the world, rooted in Natya Shastra. And it's been performed for centuries in the temples as a sacred language of expression. It was never meant to just entertain. It was meant to communicate. The emotion, devotion, conflict, longing, it's a whole human experience carved into movement. So today, I want to talk about this ancient art form that understands our mind far more deeply than we often realize. So every Aramandi, which is the squat position that you hold in Bharatanatyam, when your thighs burn, every hastam or mudra, which is the hand gestures, you repeat it until it becomes an instinct. All of this is not just physical training, it's mental conditioning. And I remember when, back in the days when I was in dance class, and my teacher used to sit in front of me with that stick where you use it to do the beats of the Bharatanatyam. Whenever we made a mistake, that stick used to come flying at us. So now, when I reflect back on it, maybe it was not cruelty, it was positive punishment, which is basically something that you do to reduce the undesirable behavior and reinforce learning. And every adavus that I practice, which are the fundamental steps in Bharatanatyam, it taught me precision. Every abhinaya, which is the expressions, it taught me empathy. And every time I fail and try again, it taught me resilience. And one story that I very personally relate to was during my Arangetram, which is my Bharatanatyam graduation. So after my first dance, I went backstage and threw up. I was extremely anxious and my body was physically weak. But those few moments of introspection, of the months of hard work, of practicing, and my guru, my teacher on the stage anticipating me coming back on stage, it gave me resilience and grit. So Bharatanatyam is not something that just shapes your body. It reshapes your mind. Another important thing that I want to talk about is that modern neuroscience backs this up. So there was an EEG study on trained Bharatanatyam dancers in India, which showed that there was an increased brain activity in attention and emotional regulation. So this shows that this art form actually strengthens your ability to be contained, to be focused, to be emotionally balanced. An important factor of neuroscience is mirror neurons, right? Mirror neurons are something that don't just get activated when you perform something, but also when you observe people perform something. So when I express my emotions, your brains would feel it too. And these emotions do not just stay contained within the dancer, it spreads. And this is called emotional contagion, the subconscious transfer of emotions from one person to another. So I can very confidently say that Bharatanatyam does not just stay on the stage, it moves to the audience, and that is something that I would like to show.
Ah
case you felt something. See, I did not narrate any story, I did not use any words, but I really hope something shifted. Maybe some of you felt heaviness, maybe discomfort, or maybe just stillness. That's not your imagination, that's emotional contagion at work. And one last aspect as psychology students that we keep reiterating is emotional regulation. So Bharatnatyam teaches you not to suppress your emotions or explode with emotions. You learn how to contain it, how to channel it. So Bharatnatyam becomes our medium of expression. So here's my question to you. Right? What if your body is not something that your mind controls? Rather, it's something that your mind learns from. What if an ancient Bharatnatyam dancer actually knew something that modern science is only just beginning to prove? That healing, that learning, the empathy sometimes begin not in the head, but the feet touching the ground. Thank you.